Howdy folks, so I got the new Leatherman Surge, and I don't want to do any hard modifications quite yet to it until I fully break it in and am happy with how it's going to perform. But I thought one small modification was I would take this bit out, which is just the one that it came with, which is the Phillips flat, and it's kind of the 1/4 inch drive type, but flattened. So I'm going to just take this 1/4 inch Allen wrench and do a prototype. What I want to do is a bit that will have a chisel at one end and a gouge at the other for bushcraft type projects that will fit into that. So I've got my trusty grinder handy and a brand new metal cutting disc, and we're going to put them to work and see what I can do here. So I've decided the best way to do this is to just start flat spotting the Allen while holding it with vice grips, and then just dunking it in a cup of water here and there until I get it shrunk down to the profile at the end that I need. Then, while it's still attached to the Allen wrench, I will carve one of the ends, one of the either the chisel or the gouge, then cut it off and do the other end. So that way I have as much maneuverability as possible using the entire Allen wrench, so it doesn't not so hard to work. And yeah, so far so good. I think this is pretty good steel. It's USA made, so that tends to be good. But I don't know, it might be a bit brittle, it being an Allen wrench, compared to like your typical chisel. But we're gonna, like I said, this is just a prototype. We'll see how it goes. All right, so we've narrowed that down quite a bit. Start to look like the same shape as this thing. And it does, in fact, fit. It's still a little gritty, but it fits right in there. So that looks good. Now the other thing that I need to think about is when I close this, that it has enough room for the plier head to come down in there, like so. So it looks like I've got a clearance up to about that little spring that's down inside of there. I don't know if it's a spring, but it's a little metal thing that sticks up when this closes. The prime purpose for this would be like spoon carving. So it does not need to be very big. Just, just a little gouge that I can work around, as opposed to trying to make the knife get down into there. So I've got about that much to play with to do the gouge. Let's see how that goes. All right, so from the end here, that's about as far as I want to go because I'm getting awfully close. Now I just need to sharpen this edge to make it shaped like that and make it come out to, a point, an edge. So looking pretty good. I'm going to hit it with the 60 grit first just to shape it, and then I'll take it down to a finer grit. All right, so I've done the general shape there, and it's starting to get sharp, not quite. I'm going to hit it with a much finer belt, an 80 grit, which is really, it's quite used, so it's more like 120 grit, and get that really shaped in. But it's starting to take form. You can start to see it. And that's what I'm looking for. And the other end should be a lot easier, just the chisel point. So I'll do that next. Scrap piece of white pine, which is white pine's pretty soft, but I don't expect to be using. Well, I can certainly work with that. Here, just walking right through it. I think it could be a little bit sharper. All right, I'm just gonna sharpen that up just a little bit more with a finer grit and call that good. And now let's see if it fits in. I expect that I'm going to have to put some notches on the side of this, kind of like this has these little spring retention clips here, these guys. So I'll file that in so that this way this thing doesn't just bottom out and dull itself. but for now we can very gently scoot that in there. In fact, I'm going to profile this part a little bit more, the shank of it, because it's a little tight in there, and I'm just going to smooth it up. That's certainly smoother. Let's try it now. Oh yeah, right in, no problem. Hit. Yep, okay, cool. So now we just need to cut this off and do a chisel at the other end. Also, I wanted to mention, while we're right here, that is the belt clip off of the Gordon, which all I did was open up the inside of it, which is a little tricky to get off, which is kind of what you want, but yeah, all I did was open that up, and then it fit right on the Leatherman. And Leatherman was having issues with theirs breaking, so far so good with this one. And it didn't take much work. I mean, it literally like less than a minute to get that to fit. And it's a pretty good fit. It's a little wobbly side to side, but it's not going anywhere. It's not going to pop off your belt, so cool. All right, let's cut this down and make a chisel at the other end. For that, I'm going to use the cutoff wheel. All right, we got the chisel point started. It's fairly sharp off the 60 grit. I'm going to take the little belt tender and go the rest of the way. Got the gouge. Now, the real question is, does it fit? It fits. Right on. Let's try it the other way. Cool. Nice. Now, the other thing is, will it close? Will the pliers close on it? So let's swing this shut. It closes nice and snug. Let's try it the other way. There it is. All right. Looks perfect to me. Nice. There we go. So I'll put the spring detent notches in it in a moment, but go ahead and sharpen the rest of the chisel, which I'll bet it would cut just like it is, but it's not sharp as I want it. Now, it'll kind of do the job, but let's make that sharper. Nice. All right, let's put the dents in the side. Just a little notch. I think I can do that. Looks good. A little tight yet. Going in that way. Flip over. There we go. Fine. Didn't quite make it to where I notched it. Let's see, because we're bottomed out that way. Should have made the notches down a little further. Now that way it's right, because it's not touching the gouge is not touching the base. But let's see if it closes that way. It does. Okay. So it needs to have two sets of detents because it's a little longer than their bit. That's fine. Easy enough. So there you go. 2 chisels for the Leatherman Surge, or I guess this would work on the Wave Plus. Anything with this bit receptacle, made out of a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. Works pretty good. Alright, maybe one more slight improvement that I could make to this is just adding some ripples in here, some stippling, so that it's not so slippery. It's like, these are really sharp. This is not one you want to accidentally slip off of, so I think I'm just going to add a couple of stripes across there both ways, so no matter which way you grab it, you're into that. You know, just a couple right there and right there on the back, and that'll make a big difference. But I've polished it a little bit more, if you can see that, with a polishing belt, and it is wicked sharp. So yep, let's do that. Try this with the belt. It's rounding it off more than anything. Maybe we can use the file for this. That feels a lot better. Yeah, just a little bit of grip there. That's what we need. All right. Much better. Yes, that really helps. Cool. I'm going to declare that done. All right. Have a good day.